Ladies, ladies, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen.
Hey there, YouTube. It's the mailman coming back at you. Today we are just going to be talking about my little story, my little adventure on how I quit vaping. Yeah, you heard them dogs. You heard them dogs. It's alright. So basically we're just going to talk about why I quit vaping and how I quit vaping and how long I smoked and all those good things. So, my story begins probably when I was 16. I started smoking cigarettes and cigars, mostly cigars. I've mostly been a cigar smoker, my whole life. And, so, I smoked till I was about 26. And then I had a child. After not even the first year of her life, I pretty much quit. I went and got those fucking lozenges things. You suck on them, and that's how I quit. And honestly, I think it was more like cold turkey, to tell you the truth, because man, those they do nothing. How I really quit that first time was I was shoving food, just shoving it down my mouth all day long. And so that's pretty much how I quit the first time, and I stayed smoke free for about 10 years at that point. Now behind me, you're gonna see me checking this every now and again, because whenever I put this on to play, it turns off hella quick. It just turns off really quick, and I can't see behind me. I don't have like a little monitor here that shows me what's going on behind me. I'm just using my phone. So, but yeah. So back to the story. She was just born, and I quit, and I stayed quit for about 10 years, and then I had a relapse, and I know relapse is probably a strong word. It's not like I was getting off crack or or something, but I had a little bit of a relapse. I went back to the smokes, and I just didn't like it. I mean, if you know me, you know that I love Coke. Love me some Coke, love me some coffee. And whenever I would smoke, and I smoke cigars. I mostly smoke cigars. I smoke Swisher Sweets, and for a while I smoked those Black and Milds, but I really didn't like them very much. But I pretty much just smoked Swisher Sweets. When I did smoke cigarettes, that was back when I was really more like in my 20s and earlier teens, and I smoked Reds, mostly Reds. I went on a menthol kick for a little bit there when I was that young, but they gave me a headache. Still to this day, they give me a headache. So, but anyway, besides the point, I went back to cigarettes or cigars, and I was about 6 months in, and I got Shantix, and that worked. It fucking sucked. Dealing with all the side effects, especially the depression one. But it worked. It did work. It makes them taste nasty, just like vaping. It's almost identical to vaping, and how after you've been vaping for a while, you pretty much pick up a smoke, and well, I'll get to that too. That's kind of next in line. We'll leave that for when it's supposed to come up. But yeah, so I I did quit with Shantix, and I stayed off them for about a year, and my father-in-law, me, I'd always told him, I don't smoke for years, for years. As soon as I get there, he asked me if I want a beer and if I want a cigar. And for years and years and years, I told him, no, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't drink, I don't smoke. Well, finally, one day, I go ahead and do it. I'm like, all right, I drink a beer. First it starts with a beer, and I'm just having a beer with them every now and again, not big. Just having a beer, just man to man, kind of thing. We always go outside and talk anyway. It's just our thing. So, well, anyway, eventually I did go and say yes to a cigar. And, everything was fine, for about a year. And then I tell myself, well, because my dad smokes and my father-in-law smokes, and I didn't smoke. I smoked with my father-in-law for a while, but I didn't smoke. Like, I see them maybe twice a week. See my father-in-law twice a week. So I'd have, so I would have cigars twice a week as well. I didn't consider myself a smoker. I dreaded every single time, I had to smoke with them. Not because I would start up again, but because they fucking taste nasty. And I don't like taste of beer either. It tastes nasty to me. So I'm using a nasty beer to wash down a nasty cigar. It's all around just a bad experience for me. But I love nicotine. I love nicotine. Nicotine's good. Nicotine's okay. Nothing wrong with a little nicotine in your life. So, eventually one day I told myself I'm gonna smoke with my dad and have a beer with my dad, because this is not something that me and him ever do together. Like, we do yard work together, and I should have left it at that. I should have just left it at the yard work, because that's where it started. I pretty much, after that day, after going out and actually just buying 2 cigars and 2 beers to sit down with my own dad and have some guy time, I was hooked back on him again. 6 months later, after that, I'm like, I gotta quit. I went and got Shantix again, quit successfully, and then a week later I was right back on him. So I guess you can't really say it was successful. It may have been longer than a week, but it was still pretty quick. And I pretty much just decided I'm gonna try vaping. And so I went to a cigar place, or a little cigarette store. I went to a little cigarette store. I got an old piece of crap, mouth to lung. I want to say like an Aspire, Nautilus, or something like that. And I started using it because I already had mods. I was using mods for other stuff. We'll just say other stuff. And and so I already had a mod, and I just bought a tank. I bought some juice. My first juice was a Naked line, and I went at it. I was like, all right, let's do this. Let's go ahead and let's try this. So I'm smoking cigars, and I start vaping, but I'm realizing that it's not really working, and I try and take like a big long drag, but I had no idea, because I seen videos of people just just taking a nice long, and I tried that, but I didn't know is that I had a mouth to lung device here. Okay. You can't do that. So it hurt quite a bit too, because I really wasn't used to all the vapor. So it did hurt quite a bit as well. So I did the mouth to lung thing for about a week. I ended up spilling my bottle of juice because this fucking piece of crap device was a bottom fill. And I blame it on that. I don't care if it was my fault. The fact that I had to do bottom fill is the reason why I dropped my juice. So I dropped my juice, and I kind of gave it up at that point, because I had maybe enough for like, I don't know, I maybe had 10 milliliters, 5-10 milliliters after that. And it wasn't really working anyway. I was still smoking way more than I was vaping. So I gave it up for about a month or so, and this was last year, 2017, probably summertime. Probably around summertime, maybe close to fall. So I finally go online. I go on YouTube, and I'm like, searching around stupid shit that if I knew what I know now then I'd realize that you just, if you type in the YouTube descriptor or the YouTube search bar, beginners vape setup, you're gonna get something with smock. You know, you're gonna get something with smock, and that's just the way it is. And so I went ahead and I bought it, and I think Rip Trippers, and was it Indoor Smokers? They were pretty much the first two people that I found, and I found like a lot of other people of once I got into rebuildables like Mike Vapes and whatnot, and so well anyway these were kind of the first people I found, and I went through a lot of their videos, and obviously I knew nothing about a lot of the shit they were talking about. Maybe more Rip Trippers than Indoor, because Indoor, he did a lot of sub-ohm tanks and all that kind of stuff. So, well, I bought an Alien setup, it was a Smock Alien with a Baby Beast, and I rocked it for a while, and then on top of the Baby Beast, I went ahead and bought the X Baby. And upon, discovering the X Baby, I've also discovered the RBA. So that's kind of, the first three things I bought, because I knew I didn't want to keep buying these coils. Excuse me. I knew I didn't want to keep buying coils, and an RBA, I was like, perfect. I just rewick it. So, that did work for me this time. Now, when the RBA came a little later, because obviously, I spent a lot of money all at once, and on batteries and a whole new setup, and I had some batteries, but I went ahead and see, there we go. That's what I'm talking about. So I did have some batteries, but I went ahead and bought some more because they were older, and well, anyway, so I bought a lot of stuff, and then the RBA kind of came month 2, and the first month of vaping, I had the 4 coils that it came with, because I bought the X Baby and the Baby Beast, and they both came with 2 coils. So I burned through about 3 of them before I started using the RBA, and in the first week of vaping, I pretty much just, I was smoking and vaping at the same time, just simultaneously. And that was kind of how I just, I got off. And then one day, after about a week of doing both, of smoking and vaping at the same time, I finally got to that point to where I grabbed the cigar, and I was just disgusted with the taste. So I put it out. And then I took a few vapes, and it's still, even for a few days, that was, the first time it had happened, I still tried to smoke for at least 3 days. So it was about 7 days until I got to that point where I didn't like the taste anymore. And then it was about 10 days to where I got to that point, and, I just completely put them down. Just no more smoking at all. So, it wasn't that easy. I did smoke about 2 packs of Swisher Sweets a day, so about 10 Swisher Sweets a day. And I did start off with 3 milligram Nick, because I did try a few different varieties. I tried 0, 3, and 6. And the 0, I was like, I'm just going to buy this for when I actually stopped smoking. And it never really panned out for me. It wasn't really a good... It just tastes weird. It just tastes weird. It has a different flavor to me. 0 Nick versus having at least 3. So, I did eventually try it, but I did not like it. And I did try the 3 and the 6 that I bought, and I pretty much stuck with the 3 because the 6 in a sub-ohm had more throat hit than what I was looking for. I really did like the fact that I can chain vape and not get nicked out and not have a throat hit. Now, as a smoker, I used to enjoy that throat hit a little bit. I did. But as a vapor, I was glad that it was gone for once. And I think it's because I'd rather chain vape than smoke occasionally, or vape occasionally. You know, and I say smoke because that's how I smoked. You know, I was constantly outside just fucking puffing on the goddamn cigar. So that's how I went through 10 of them every day. So anyway, that's pretty much my story. You know, I figure I've been doing my YouTube thing for long enough that it's about time that I put it out there. So, but please, you know, I would love to hear your guys' stories. You know, how long did you smoke? How long did you vape? Or how long did it take you to transition when you did start to vape into a place where you weren't touching the smokes anymore? You know, all those little things. You know, I don't care if it's like 10 paragraphs long. You know, I'll read it and I'll reply to it. And but yeah, I'd love to hear all of your guys' stories. Now this video is obviously just for my subscribers. I mean, it's going to have a very simple title, which is my story. So that's not something searchable very, very easily. But, so yeah, it's just for you guys. You know, I do want to hear your guys' story. And, you know, even if you are a non-subscriber and you came across this video, you know, tell me your story too. You know, even if you don't want to hit subscribe, that's cool. You know, I don't really do this for subs. You know, I do this because I'm really good at explaining things, and sometimes when I get in front of the camera, I'm like, duh. You do it again on me? No, you didn't. All right. But yeah, sometimes when I get in front of the camera, man, it's just like, no, which way did he go, George? Which way did he go? And you know, it's just a camera thing. I mean, I'm 38 years old, so you know, when you put me in front of a camera, this is something that's just alien to me. You know, I didn't grow up with cameras very much. You know, we had the little disposable motherfuckers when I was a kid. So, you know, and it was all 35 millimeter. You know, fucking digital, phone in your pocket everywhere you go. I mean, it's a different age. You know, I know I probably look really young, and a lot of you guys, if you didn't know how old I was, you know, you probably thought I was in my 20s. You know, I get that pretty much all day. So, you know, but I'm 38, and it was a different time. You know, I was born in the 70s. But yeah, I was born in the 70s, so you know, it's a whole different era nowadays. You know, with the way we live now versus when I was a kid. And I'm from a little small city, a little small town, I should say. I mean, it was like population 5,000 when I was a kid. You know, we didn't even have like a regular supermarket. We had our local grocery store. So, well, anyway, you know, that's my story. You know, that's me. You know, that's my story. That's me. And please tell me your story. Tell me about you. And as you can probably tell, that my light is going dim. You know, I tried charging it before I started the video, but I didn't charge it enough. So, well, I didn't have enough time. You know, I had the amount of time I had is what I had. So, you know, I apologize for the pictures. I just kind of threw something on. These are things that I've worked on and messed around with and whatnot and found on the internet. You know, so they're there. I just wanted something on in the background. But yeah, thank you guys. You know, thank you for watching. So please comment your stories. Please tell me your stories. You know, I definitely would love to hear them. And yeah, just get to know you guys. You know, it's really awesome. You know, I don't think I say it, you know, enough in any review that I've ever done, but I really enjoy, you know, communicating with all of you guys and going back and forth with messages and learning. You know, I got a lot of subscribers who've taught me a lot, and I really haven't been vaping very long, so I don't know all the stuff that's out there. But, you know, I'm really smart, and, you know, I am a mailman, but my backstory is I'm an engineer. And, you know, I kind of left that job to become a mailman, not because it was my dream. Oh, I'm just fulfilling that destiny, right? I've always wanted to be a mailman. You have no idea. But because of job security, you know, I've been a mailman for 15 years, 16 years technically, and 16 years ago, we were going through some bad times, especially in the Silicon Valley. And I got out of being an engineer because I was afraid. You know, I'm not going to lie, I was afraid. You know, I was already commuting to work. Like I come from a small town that's in the outskirts of all these big cities like San Francisco, Oakland, Livermore. And you know, they're all near me, but you know, you got to commute to get to them. And I was commuting, and I was, you know, not enjoying life. Like, I loved my job as an engineer. It was nothing funner, but I was never home. You know, I didn't have a kid yet. You know, I was in my early 20s, and you know, I didn't like that life. You know, I didn't like that life of having no time. You know, especially for your family. And even though I didn't have a kid, I knew I'd be a family man one day. So, but yeah, you know, that's it. You know, that's my background. That is, excuse me, but that is why I, you know, did decide to get up on here. You know, and it is mostly just to help anyone I can, and learn too. So I'd like to learn from you guys. And I would like to teach you guys, too, anything I can. You know, I know sometimes when I'm on camera, I probably don't look like I know what I'm fucking talking about. But, you know, I mean, I learn quick. You know, it's no thing for me. You know, I love to read, and I love to learn. It's always been a passion. And, you know, I'm no dummy. You know, so, you know, it's just the camera, man. It's the camera. Just... I can't even look at it. So I keep looking away. You know, it's just not for my time. So, but you know, it is what it is. And, you know, I'm getting more used to it. Things are kind of getting more relaxed, and, you know, and a lot of my reviews I do so late at night. I'm so tired. You know, because I am a dad as well as trying to do this. You know, I do have a kid, and I'm a full-time parent. You know, I drop her off at school, I go to work, I pick her up from school, and I gotta bust my ass at work just to make sure I get there for her, because I have to combine 8 hours worth of work into 7 hours, because she's only at school for 7 hours. You know, it's not a full day for her, like quite like it is for me. But you know, I get it done every day, and then I come home and we gotta make dinner, and she don't need really help with her homework. She's a smart kid. You know, I got a really smart kid, straight A student. But, you know, we got to spend time together, too. So that's why I do a lot of my reviews really late. And, you know, if you're ever, like, messaging me or commenting, and it takes me a while to get back, it's just because I'm over there being a dad. You know, I'm just over there. You know, we watch a lot of movies. I make dinner for her every day. And I spend time with her every single day. Especially now. She's almost a teenager. I'm running out of time. You know, my little girl's growing up. And you know, these are the years right now where I really got to be there as much as possible. So if I'm ever laggy on responding, that's, you know, why. And if I'm ever not on YouTube for a few days, you know why. It's not easy, you know, but I am trying to start this channel up now too, because, you know, I need a new baby. You know, my baby's growing up, so I need a new baby. You know, this is kind of a good thing. You know, takes up a lot of time, you know, and I get to help people. You know, I get the almost the same kind of feeling as being a dad, I guess, you know. So, well, anyway, I think I've talked way too long. You know, if you made it to the whole video, thank you for listening to all my crap and watching me turn around a million times. And I'm not gonna edit, you know, any of this out. I'm just gonna leave it as is. Just edit out the beginning where I'm setting up, but that's it, and the end when I turn off the camera. But thank you guys for watching. Thank you. You know, thank you for listening. If you have YouTube Red, just shut off the screen. You really don't need to look at me and my computer. It's story time. So, but thank you guys. You know, I do appreciate it. You know, please like, comment, tell me your story. And I'll catch you on the next one.